They will help us get the food that's needed in order to be able to prepare those things that are relevant to them. And so, again, when they finish that training time, and Wayne's intention is not only do they perform as a student, but the latter part of their program, learning this, they will perform as a teacher.
That's awesome.
Yeah, they will then teach the people who are coming up through the program how to do what they learn to do.
The Third City Podcast is a production of Third City Coalition. In our show, we examine case studies in urban development in Stockton and other cities like Stockton across the country, exploring their local and regional impacts. Individual efforts play a role in Third City development, and it
My
starts
name is
with
Josh,
you.
and you're listening
We
to
hope you'll join us.
KXVS, the voice of Stockton, 92.1 FM.
Hey guys, it's Nikki D from Nikki D with Details and OJ. You can catch our show on Wednesday nights from 7 to 9 p.m. here at the Voice of Stockton. We do Hollywood interviews, local interviews, restaurants, food, you name it, we do it. If I'm not talking, I'm eating.
Hey, it's Details, and I'm the awkward guy on the show. But you know what? You also can tell me, am I right or am I wrong on the...
Hello, this is Darius with Divine Numerology. Thank you for tuning in to KXVS on this Friday after 3 o'clock p.m., where we're going to talk and discuss numerology and numerologically related topics with an incredible guest that we have on our show today who does incredible work, which you'll soon discover. She's sitting right next to me. I just want to say and her name is Norma Lynn. I want to say thank you, Norma Lynn, for being on the show with us.
Thank you for inviting me.
Yes. She does some incredible things, and we're going to get some insight into what she does in our second half. But the reason why we're having her on the show is because she also has an interest in numerology and what that entails and what exactly it is. And she has her own unique insights into something called sacred geometry. And now the incredible thing about it is you've heard about sacred geometry, maybe not, but it is essentially geometry, but taken to another level. How is it applied in our structures, and so on, the structures of life, our living spaces. I was having a really awesome conversation with her this morning about it, and she gave me some really good things to think about, and that's what she's really good at too. She gives you some really good things to think about. But today, before we jump into that, we're just going to talk a little bit about the number of the day, and today is the 16th. And today's the 16th, and in numerology, we base things on the number 7. We base things on natural addition, and in this case, it would be going to 1 plus 6 equals 7. And so in this case, here we have the meaning of the number 1 and then the meaning of the number 6. And then those two create 7, which is trust and openness. The 6 is vision and acceptance, and balance and adjustment. And then the 1 resonates with confidence and creativity. And with numerology, we blend these numerological vibrations to get one single digit, this giving us the entire color for that. And what I want to talk about today is some of the attributes that come with the number 7. Myself, when I did my own calculation for my chart, I found out that I have an expression 7. That means when my entire name is added, it equals the number 7. One awesome thing about our guest Norma Lynn is that her number, when we add up her full birthday, it equals 7 also. And so trust and openness, that's a similar vibration. But not only is that the energy of 7, but 7 is that highly spiritual number. And I want to ask Norma Lynn, a little bit about how she feels about the number 7 has impacted her in her life as far as her spiritual journey.
I see 7 a lot in prices, in receipts, in license plates and addresses. 7 is a recurring number that I see pretty much on a daily basis. Before we even met, before I even knew that 7 was my life path. And it makes complete sense to me because I have been on this spiritual path for most of my life. So I can see that divine numerology and what you have to offer is practical and easily applicable. And again, it makes total sense.
Awesome. So that's one thing right there. She's been seeing it for her whole life before she even was aware that it was a number of her life path. 7 is considered that spiritual road, it's like the highway to spirituality. What it does is it teaches a person the lessons that they need to learn with being able to adapt and adopt spiritual concepts and ideas in their life. 7 is a number of analysis and introspection. So people that have this particular number, if someone's born on the 16th, then they're going to be a person that is influenced by the number 1, 6, and 7. In this case, they're going to be a person who's concerned with the self. They're going to be concerned with independence, confidence, being very direct and straightforward in their communication. And then it's also going to be that independent side of them that has to blend with the 6 energy, which deals with relationships, adjustment within relationships, being able to see the strengths and the flaws in another person, because 6 also represents vision and acceptance, the vision to see things and the willingness to accept them as they are, if one can't change them. And rarely can we ever change our outer circumstances without changing ourselves first. Then the 7, which they blend into, takes it inward. So a person born on the 16th will naturally have these attributes. They'll be influenced heavily by the family and by individual characteristics seeking independence. Along with that, there's other forms of the number 7, like the number 25. If you're born on the 25th, then that means that you're influenced by others, because 2 is others, and then 5 is the movement and the motion, which generates the 7, which causes it to seek inward. Overall, the 7 is really the number of going within. And I had a really awesome, one of the conversations that I was talking to Norma Lynn about, remember that one where we were talking about the 3 intelligences?
Yes, the 3 minds.
Yeah. That, when you shared that with me, that was really awesome, because it really helped me out, because when you explain that, you explain that the head is the first intelligence, and then you said that what were the other 2 intelligences?
The heart and the gut.
Okay, awesome. And then it related so much to 7. The way that you walked me through it, being able to look within, and I'd heard it all the time, like, hey, Darius, look within, go within, go within. But it wasn't until I spoke to you about it and that it all started to make more sense, because you walked me through it.
Awesome.
And I really benefited a lot from that. And to this day, and I even spoke about it within, the other shows that I've done when I touch on the number 7. And just today, it happens to be that number. So I'm kind of honoring that and, that knowledge that you shared with me. And one of the things that I mentioned and how I kind of incorporated it is basically taking the number 7 and how it has the top part. If you look at the number 7, it's made up of 2 lines, one that's laying flat and then one that's going down. So the top one would be the mind. the brain, and how we have ears connected to, we have eyes connected to, we have a mouth and a nose. So we have all this information that's constantly coming into us from what we can see, hear, and influencing our thoughts and opinions constantly. But when you told me, okay, Darius, look, you said this in so many words, tune out the noise and tune into the signal. And you said that by saying, hey, look, man, go into your heart. And I was like, well, how do you do that? And the way you explained, you remember how you explained that to me, going into the heart? Or just the best way that you would?
Yes, I remember the gist of it. Yes, Our heart is an intelligence that wants us to be free, wants us to be happy, and wants us to be fulfilled, and a feeling of joyfulness.
That exactly. And you actually said it better right now. And the way, so you told me that, and I was like, okay, well, that makes sense. But it wasn't until I experienced it and I said, oh, you asked me, I asked you a question. You're like, okay, Darius, so we're not going to give you the answer on this. We want to empower you so that you can find the answer yourself.
Absolutely.
So you were teaching me how to go within my own self.
Yes.
And when you did that, you said, ask yourself the question, how do you feel? And now pay attention to your heart, is what you said to me. And you said, how do you feel? And I said, I thought about it. I had to sit for a second and I had to think about how I felt. And then I just felt, okay, I feel joy. And you're like, good. That's a great emotion. That's how you know that that's in line with what you're supposed to do. Then you were showing me. So then there's the third one, the third intelligence. And I was like, okay, well, how do I go into that? And you walked me through it. And you remember what you said?
Yes, it's your gut, and our gut wants us to be safe and protected. And so when we say trust your gut instinct, that is for our survival. That is to maintain our survival.
Awesome. And I remember that too. And when you shared that with me about going down, after you showed me how to do the heart, then I asked another question and you said, okay, Darius, go into your stomach, into your gut. And I asked myself the question, and it was similar to what the heart sensation was, but with the gut, it was, you asked me, I said, then you asked me, how do you feel when you ask this question to yourself? And I said, I feel safe. And you said, good. That's the way that you're going to know that this is the right course for you. Paying attention to, okay, this is what the mind says. Well, how do I check and see if this is right? Go here and then there. And that's how we tune in to what's called the three intelligences. And the way that that's shown by the 7 is looking at the top of it. That's the mind. Then what people do is they draw this line in the middle, represented by the heart. Then draw the line at the bottom, and that's represented by the gut. And if coincidentally, the 7 becomes a Z, but the Z equals 7 in numerology, which is so it just brings it really together. And that was kind of something that I saw, but helped me to really integrate what you were saying. And so I really appreciated that you shared that with me. So to all of you who heard that, when I first mentioned it a few weeks back, Norma Lynn was the one who shared with me the knowledge of the three intelligences. And she has a lot more to share with us after the break, too, when we get to that point. But, just touching on that, that is very powerful. What I want to go and explain a little bit about is because previously in the last week, we talked about the number 2. And then in the week before that, we spoke about the number 1. So now we're going to talk about the number 3 and what 3 means. 3 is expression and sensitivity. It represents joy, happiness, and full expression of what one is able to do. And it is associated with good times, but the challenge of the 3 is, yes, it can have these good times and have these really positive emotions. And at the same time, it must overcome the tendency for self-doubt and the tendency to not get sucked into deep depression at times. That can be a challenge that comes with the 3 expression, is being able to focus and use its magnificent creative faculties and abilities in a way that will really uplift it and help it to maintain that positive mindset and positive energy. It's so funny, we actually looked at the clock and it was 3:22 and now it's 3:23. So there's a repeating sequence. And if you got, so to those of you who are listening, check out after or during our break, go on your phone and type in angel number 322. Type in angel number 322 and go and see what it means and see how it relates to you at this time. It's a very positive number frequency. And when you see what it says, see how well it matches what's going on in your life right now. You guys have an awesome break. We're going to be back very soon, and we will talk to you very shortly. We're going to get back and have Norma Lynn tell us more about what she does. Okay, guys? Thanks for tuning in.
My name is Miriam, and I am the voice of
Awesome.
Stockton.
The
Good
Third City
job.
Podcast is a production of
KXVS, the voice of Stockton, here at Stone Soup Studio at the Peace and Justice Network.
Awesome. So thanks for tuning back in, guys. This is Darius with Divine Numerology. We have our lovely guest, Norma Lynn, and she is here bringing us information as a light bearer. We're going to learn from our teacher today and, see what she has to share with us. And if you have any questions out there, please message them, put them in the message or the comments box so that we can get to them. or message me. And also, Norma Lynn's going to tell you about how you can get a hold of her and how you can contact her too. So again, I want to thank you, Norma Lynn, for being on the show, gracing us with your presence.
Thank you. Likewise, thank you for having me here. I'm honored.
On such short notice.
Yes. But I love spontaneity.
Yes. Yeah, I do too. It's like a tendency. So, one thing I did not mention to our guests is what exactly you do. And so I was curious. Well, I'm curious, yes, but they're curious in another way. So what exactly does Norma Lynn do?
Absolutely, thank you. I am an intuitive, a channeler, and a medium. I focus on galactic heritage readings. I use a 108 card deck divination system by Lisa Royal Holt, who's also a channeler for Jermaine and Sasha, extraterrestrial channeler. And it's a very, very powerful divination system. And I use that in my galactic heritage readings, where the client, the person receiving a reading, will benefit where their heritage, their cosmic origins are from, and what energies from our extraterrestrial family is with them today.
Wow. Okay, that's incredible. That's amazing. So we have with us someone who is communicating with many multi-dimensional beings from different planes, and she's able to help give us guidance. So you're able to give us guidance from our spirit team, is that correct?
Yes, for galactic heritage readings, the focus would be from your galactic families of light.
Okay, so what are the galactic families of light?
That's a good question. Let's first define what galactic family is. A galactic family is a group of extraterrestrial beings, physical or non-physical, that are interrelated energetically and or physically with the development of Earth. And so when we refer to galactic families of light, we are talking about the benevolent group of extraterrestrials that are working with us and here to guide us through our spiritual sovereignty.
Interesting. So these are beings that have an interest in the well-being of humans.
Absolutely, in humanity and the planet as a whole, because our planet, Mother Earth or Gaia, is a being as well. And so we want to evolutionize ourselves back to the source. And our extraterrestrial family, our galactic families of light, are here to assist us. Just like our angelic family, our galactic families of light are here to assist us.
Wow. And then how does the galactic heritage, how do those readings work, the galactic heritage?
So for a galactic heritage reading, out of the 108 cards, and it is quite a large deck with multiple layers of meanings and multiple, because we're multidimensional beings, we have, again, multi layers and multiple meanings. For the galactic heritage reading, you would have 7. Which is, wow, what a number today.
Yeah, it's the 16th, 7.
Yes, you would have 7, and each card will tell you an incarnation that you had on a planet or star, and the energy that's working with you in this lifetime.
Interesting.
It's absolutely powerful and absolutely resonating. And it's very informative. So it's like working with angel cards or fairy cards or another divination system, but this is coming from a galactic perspective.
Interesting. So, you know what? I love the fact that you made the distinction that it's not, that you can work with fairy, you can work with angel cards. How is it different working with the fairies or the angels or the galactic?
Families of light?
Yeah, the galactic families.
Yes, thank you for asking. It is the difference of energies. They are higher beings, higher electromagnetic intelligence, such as the angelic realm and the elemental realm, the crystal realm, or crystal kingdom, mineral kingdom, plant kingdom, animal kingdom, just different subtleties in their energies.
Okay.
But they're all here to assist us.
Wow. Awesome.
And so when you incorporate a galactic perspective, when you realize that our galactic families of light have been with us, have been assisting with us since aeons, for aeons on time, since the ancient civilizations, it changes your perception and your reality, and you're able to access your holographic reality and access more of your multidimensional self.
Wow. That sounds like, to our listeners, that's some very interesting things, very, very interesting information, quite a bit. And if you have any questions, please, Norma Lynn is going to show you how you can contact her. touching back on that. Oh, now it's 3:33.
Great. 333. All the ascended masters are with us.
Awesome.
And they're here to support us. We always have divine assistance readily available for us. And they are honored. Our divine team is honored of angels, of elementals, of the crystal kingdom, of our galactic families of light, and the ascended masters. They're all here to help us, and they're honored.
Okay.
Now, I have a bit of a question.
Yes,
Go for it.
absolutely.
Now, our divine team, as you say, in what ways do they affect our lives?
They can provide guidance, support, and divine support. So if you have any questions, you need guidance when you pray or when you meditate, they are there to guide you, give you clarity, help you ascend, help you improve your spiritual abilities such as clairvoyance, clairsentience, clairaudience, and other teleportation, telekinesis, telepathy. Those are five-dimensional abilities, but they are higher sources for information and support.
That sounds very helpful.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, okay. So like in my regular life, like let's say, I'll just give a little background of myself. Hi guys, this is Donovan, the board op for Darius' show. Just hopping in here on the mic real quick.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say throughout my life, like growing up, I've always felt like I've had a little bit more guidance, and so at certain times I'll have like a clarity, like I'll get, I guess you say like an intuition, and I'll feel like, and I'll be able to rely on it. You know, if I have that, then I'm like, okay, well then this is true. And at times it causes conflict with people because they're like, that doesn't make sense, or I don't agree with that, or that I don't understand it. And now I feel confident that like this is the correct way. Like
Very
I think
good.
this is the right way. And I don't like to put like a name on it, you know, because if you give a name to something like that, you alienate a lot of people sometimes, you know.
Mm-hmm.
If someone doesn't understand something, or if it sounds like something they don't agree with, then they're all too often immediately resistant to it.
And it sounds like you're tuning into your higher self, and sometimes that doesn't even need an explanation.
Okay, my higher self.
Your higher self, and also you're tuning into your three intelligences: your mind, your heart, and your gut.
And I have to ask you though, where did you come into this understanding of the three intelligences?
It was over time, just meditating from other spiritual mentors as well, and through healing myself, healing my body, and knowing that our entire body from head to toe is not just a collection of organs and skin. It is a holistic unit, and there's wisdom in our bodies, not just our minds. So when we say listen to your heart or trust your gut instinct, we really mean that, because there is higher guidance that's in there, that's in our bodies. And when we say, as in the Bible, it says, God's kingdom is within you. That is true. There's everything, all of the answers are within us, and we are made of the same ingredients as the stars in the cosmos, and it's absolutely beautiful. Our bodies are very complex and very unique, and we have our own innate healing systems that we can activate, and we can heal ourselves. It's just tuning into our bodies. And it sounds like when you make these decisions that other people may not understand, you're tuning into your minds and your higher self, which is guidance.
It's beautiful to hear you say all this, because I mean, for me, like personally, for me to hear this, because these are thoughts that like I have occasionally, and in general, like I'd say like I always return to them. You know, they're always in the back of my mind, and occasionally they'll resurface, and I'll think about it, or I'll do some research, or it'll just be a sort of thought process that is just prevalent in my mind. And recently, I've been like so busy with stuff here at the station, and just work and school and personal life things, and I haven't really gotten a chance to. I don't know. I suppose it's been tuned out a little bit. It's been tuned out a little bit, and sitting here speaking with you, it's really good. Like I'm reminded of a lot.
Yes, keep tuning into yourself so that your decision making will be more conscious, your actions will be more conscious, and that's going to elevate your life, your intelligence, and your freedom as a whole.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Appreciate it.
Awesome, man. Thanks. Those are really good questions. And I'm sure that some people in our audience were thinking those questions. So you're probably tuning into that too. One thing too that I wanted to ask was, how did you come to start working with these beings?
That is a very, very good question. There It's very, very rare, and probably none at all pure humans. We have reincarnated many, many times on different planets, on different stars, and so our galactic family has genetically gifted humanity. There's about 23 to 24 different extraterrestrial civilizations that has genetically gifted humanity's DNA in the ancient times, and it's still with us today. And so my experience with our galactic family's life, I had a DNA activation from Father Proximus of the Benevolent Zeta Reticuli.
Interesting.
And I, in my meditation, I have asked Father Proximus when or how long ago before my DNA activation have I had interactions with them, because I've had ET interactions before, I've had visits before, but I wanted to know exactly when, because now that I'm working with our galactic families of light, I'm operating more efficiently on a lot of levels. It's absolutely phenomenal. It's very beautiful, and I was I was able to visit myself when I was a couple months old.
Interesting. How was that?
It was beautiful. Father Proximus was next to my crib and activated my DNA then too. We do go through a stage where after we're born, we have to go through amnesia because that is part of our evolution. And this is not for every soul, but I went through amnesia because it was part of my evolution to remember myself, to experience worldly things, and I continue to do so, but at the same time remember myself, get to know myself, and expand the true essence of who I am, expand my consciousness.
Okay.
That makes sense.
It does,
Okay.
because that amnesia is the same thing that's part of the numerology. In that explanation of how we understand our karmas and all the lessons that our numbers and our names have for us to learn. And then we forget all that information through amnesia, which is just so awesome. What I really like is how specific you are. It's not just vague generalizations. It's, no, you know exactly who it was, exactly when, and where it was, and how exactly it happened.
Yes, it was beautiful.
That is something that is remarkable, because that's not something that I've seen very often. It's sometimes it's just a vague, like, oh, what happened at this time, around that time. And not that that's not good, but it's the more information you have, the more clarity it seems, you see.
Yes, and going back to our intergalactic genetic roots, it's about cosmic triggers. So there's very rarely pure humans. So we will experience this, individuals will experience a cosmic trigger or a DNA activation when it is time for them.
Okay.
And it was time for me.
When you say pure human, what exactly do you mean?
That means without any intergalactic genetic engineering in our DNA.
Okay, so meaning that there wasn't interference by extraterrestrials.
Correct.
Okay.
And that's very, very rare now, because extraterrestrials have been present on Earth before the first Homo sapien.
This is true.
So we are intergalactic royalty, humanity's intergalactic royalty, with about, again, 23 to 24 intergalactic roots. We receive genetic giftings, and it's absolutely beautiful. And some of these genetic giftings are our spiritual abilities, such as, again, claircognizance, clairvoyance, clairsentience, clairaudience, telepathy, telekinesis, teleportation, etc.
So a pure human, how would you describe a pure human?
Like the first Homo sapien.
Okay.
That has not had any influence from intergalactic interactions.
Okay. And it's like you say,
the first mammals.
Okay, and it's very rare nowadays.
Very, very rare now. Correct. In this millennium, very, very rare. And we've had alien interventions and alien presence for aeons of time.
Okay. I was actually listening to an interview the other day, And on that interview was a name that I'll throw out, David Icke. Whether, you may have opinions or whatever your thoughts are on him, do some research your own and come to your own conclusions about that. But I heard him interviewing a gentleman from Africa who was telling about how things were many, many aeons ago, and how he described the way the sky looked as he was one of the wisdom keepers in Africa. There was only 2 of them alive today. And back then they didn't have a blue sky. They just had a black sky, and it you just saw the sun as a ball of light in the air. And the trees were huge, and mankind was they were not male nor female, just one. It was so interesting the way he described it. And what you said just brought me back to that. And I say that for everyone listening, so that you go and do your own research and come to your own conclusions about that information. But you mentioned cosmic triggers. I was just curious exactly about that.
Sure. So this has to do with planetary alignment, your stage in your evolution, your readiness, how open your seventh chakra is. It really boils down to when you're ready at your pace, in your soul contract or on your soul path. I was ready for it. I've had ET visits since I was a teen, from what I remember, and then in my meditation, Father Proximus of the Benevolent Zeta Reticuli showed me. It was a couple months old, to help me through life. But again, we have had incarnations on other planets and stars before we entered our physical vessel today. Did that answer your question?
Pretty much, about the cosmic triggers.
Okay, yeah, so it depends on the person's soul path.
Okay. Awesome. So with that, and with going on to further information on the Galactic family of light, I've also heard a term thrown around called the Galactic Federation.
Sure. Galactic Federation of Light is a group of many, many, many extraterrestrials that have a purpose. They have many purposes, but one common purpose that they have is to help humanity and help the Earth, help the planet for planetary ascension, and also from exploitation of our solar system and galaxy as a whole. So basically, they're here to assist us as well.
Okay. Is there anything that the people of Stockton should know or hear at this time?
Yes, that our galactic families of light are with us. They have been here. We have ET bases around the Central Valley. Lake Tahoe's a close one. Mount Shasta's a close one. And what we want to do is to expand our consciousness, anchor the love and light, by grounding ourselves and using our vessels to bridge the realms of heaven and earth, healing ourselves and healing the planet with the assistance of our galactic families of light. And now our galactic families of light, the way they operate is permission based. So by asking them to help you, asking them for assistance, is giving them permission. And they will, again, help you with your spiritual evolution and help guide you on your day-to-day decision-making, or even goals.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, and you said that there's bases. Two of them that you mentioned were Lake Tahoe and then Mount Shasta.
Absolutely. There's ET bases there. It's different energy. Mount Shasta is actually it's a portal, and both Lake Tahoe and Mount Shasta has one of the most powerful vortexes in the world, and it's different energy. So if you want healing, you want to experience a phenomenon, you want to see starships, you can go to Mount Shasta. But there are starships here in Stockton as well, in the Central Valley. It's just changing expanding your consciousness, changing your perception on reality, and you'll be able to see our galactic families of light from above your house.
Wow. And so you said it's about your frequency, your vibration, aligning it in such a way that you connect with the family of light.
Absolutely, that's a good point. So Meditation always helps, or just calming the mind, focusing on your breathing to begin with, and then being open, being flexible, being open to receiving information, to feeling any information from them, or even seeing information from them, and trusting what you see.
Okay, so 2 ways that you mentioned just now, which is so beautiful for the people that are listening that actually have a curiosity and are like, hey, I want to know more about that. I want to connect more with this. This feels really good, what I'm hearing. You mentioned meditation.
Mm-hmm.
You mentioned focusing on our breathing. Mm-hmm. Is there any amount of time that you would suggest that a person does it in one sitting, so that, consistently over time?
Everybody is different, but focus on your breathing until you can still your thoughts, or you can be the observer of your thoughts. Stay present. Don't think of the past. Don't think of yesterday or the future. Everything is here and now. And so when you're focusing on your breathing, that brings your awareness to the present. And it also brings your awareness to your body, how it naturally inhales and exhales air, oxygen, for survival. And that is when you're calm and you still your thoughts, you can be open to receive information from higher sources.
Okay. And by doing this, what I've noticed when I have done this, when I focus on my breathing and when I do these meditations, it relaxes me so much. And I'm able to get these messages that you speak of. And what's amazing, can anyone do this?
Yes, that's a good question. Anybody can. And so the important thing is, again, to focus on your breathing and to ground your energy. And the more you're grounded, the more you are calm, the more you are aware of your body, of the present, the more you will expand your consciousness and your awareness, and you'll be open to, again, receiving information and be able to make conscious decisions and conscious thoughts and actions.
And I assume that the more that you do it, the more definite it'll become. Is that correct?
Absolutely.
Okay.
What really helps me, have you heard of Body and Brain in Manteca?
Body and Brain. Okay. Body and Brain.
Body and Brain is a yoga center, and they do Tai Chi, but they also help the members activate their healing system and go within. They really, they are really about energy, and again, activating your innate healing system and becoming more aware of yourself and aware of others, and they help you heal. So they do solar body healing, toe tapping, abdomen breathing, and so that has helped me a lot ground my energy and be aware of my body. And I've been meditating for a while, but that helped me. Going to Body and Brain in Manteca helped me exponentially.
Wow.
So anyone can do it. They can do it at home, or they can go to a meditation center, a local meditation center, or any videos on YouTube to help guide them to meditate.
Okay. Now, say I'm a listener and I'm like, wow, I love all this information. I want to get in contact with Norma Lynn. How can I do that?
Thank you. They can visit my website at www.normalynn333, that's NORMALYNN 333.weebly, WEEBLY.com.
Awesome. Thank you. And are you taking new clients for the Galactic Heritage readings at this time?
Absolutely.
Okay. And if someone wants to book a session with you, how would they be able to do that?
They can get a hold of me on my website, again, at normalynn333.weebly.com.
Awesome. So to our guests, please, take advantage of this resource that we have available. I want to thank you, Norma Lynn, for coming on the show and for giving us these valuable insights that people will be able to go and use this and also connect with the Galactic Family of Light, and how you are allowing yourself to be of service to mankind in this way, to put this out there, put this information out there so that people can hear it for the very first time. Not everyone is easily around these types of things in their regular everyday environment. But here you are coming onto this platform so that they can all hear it, and it's very much appreciated. And as other people grow in consciousness and ascension, they will definitely learn and appreciate it more, especially the work that you do. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Likewise. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. And that is our show for today. I want to say thank you to everyone who's been tuning in with us for this past hour. And we invite you to come back next week where we have our next awesome discussion. We're going to be talking a little bit more about numbers and life paths. And we're going to go into how the life path and the expression number affect each other. What is the life path number? What is the expression number? And how do they relate? Okay. That's what we're going to talk about on the next show. You guys have an awesome rest of your weekend. And thank you for tuning in. Peace.
Here at KXVS.